Going on N Health family, Nick and Jiordana here, back with another episode of N Health, and this week's a little different. We were kind of talking amongst ourselves, and we thought it would be a good idea to kind of show you a morning routine from Jiordana's perspective as a nutritionist, and what steps you can take to optimize your morning from like a both mindful perspective and obviously a health and nutritional perspective as well. So, what's so important about your morning routine to you?
Okay, so essentially the reason why the morning routine is so important is because I think it's like a natural tendency, especially these days, to, your alarm goes off, you might snooze it a couple times, and then the first thing you're going to do is like reach for your phone and like look at your emails or like get caught up from the day. And now the problem with that is that you're just like not really setting yourself up for a peaceful morning. And when you are able to kind of like slow down in the morning and have and make it more mindful, and then it's going to set you up for stabilized hormones throughout the day. And that's going to affect things like mood as well as energy, and then of course like levels of stress. So if the first thing that you're doing is like looking at your phone and looking at your emails, then you're already spiking cortisol. So I've put together a really nice morning routine. My mornings are my favorite time. I actually wake up before like anybody else in my household, just so I can spend like a good like hour by myself.
No, it's true.
Yeah, I do. Like I wake up before everybody just to do that. So I'll tell you a couple of things that I go through in my morning routine. So the first thing that I do is when I wake up, I come downstairs and I drink 2 big glasses of water. When I'm drinking the water, I usually take my first like round of supplements for the day. So I'll take like vitamin C, I take a B complex, and I take my magnesium.
Any particular reason for those 3 or?
Yeah, so the B complex could be taken with breakfast. Now, in my own life, I practice intermittent fasting.
Okay.
That's not the right thing for everybody,
No.
but it is a really helpful intervention
and
for
very
some.
popular weight loss routine. Just in terms of like what I see on social media and people talking about, it's a very popular, call it lifestyle change you could add to your wheelhouse.
Absolutely. And honestly, like if you're not hungry in the morning, then you shouldn't be eating. Like I think that everyone says, breakfast is the most important meal of the day. And yes, the first thing that you eat is the most important. It's really important that the first thing you eat is balanced, but it doesn't really matter what time that is.
Yeah.
So I practice intermittent fasting. So I would take the B complex with my my other 2 supplements. And so basically the B complex is going to help with energy. So in the morning, I personally don't drink coffee. So I just to give me a little boost, I take my B complex. And vitamin C is also going to help with energy. It's also like anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, and antifungal and antibacterial. So it's really important right now to take.
Yes.
And then I also take the magnesium. So in my own personal health history, I've struggled with chronic fatigue syndrome as well as like fibromyalgia and that kind of thing. So magnesium is really good for just like calming the nervous system. And it also is the precursor to many of the stress hormones. So this is really just setting me up for all of these 3 supplements are setting me up for my body being adaptable to stress. Okay. Because I live a very high-paced life. I'm sure everybody here does.
Yeah, I mean, 2020 has been a high-paced year. So.
Yeah, and it literally does not stop once I leave the house. So, I just want to give myself like the best opportunity to be able to handle the stress that's going to come my way.
That makes sense. It's a really good approach to the morning.
Thank you.
So what happens next?
So then after that, I like to get in some movement. So the reason why this is important is just to get your heart pumping, to send blood to the brain. So I like to do a few yoga stretches. One of the most important thing about the yoga stretches is just making sure you're getting in a downward dog position so that you're allowing the blood flow to enter the brain. And this is going to be really important for just cognitive ability. So my day, again, is I have to think a lot. And it allows blood flow has all of the nutrients that you need to feed the brain. So this is just going to allow me to stay really sharp. And then getting a little bit of sweat out in the morning is also another important factor for like detox.
Definitely.
So I think the yoga is really great. If you exercise in the morning, any type of exercise is helpful.
Definitely.
Since I have a history of overdoing it, yoga for me is really great.
Safe.
It's safe. Yeah. And it levels me out.
And I know from like a mental health perspective too, a lot of like doctors within that world tend to recommend exercise as well and movement for depression first thing in the morning too.
Absolutely.
Right? So that's just another little thing to throw in the mix there as well.
Yeah.
Definitely helpful.
Absolutely. And that, like, my whole practice is mental health and nutrition. So what you're doing is you're allowing the body to develop its own endorphins in the morning so that your mood is more stabilized throughout the day.
Yeah.
Which is even going to help things like the amount of food, like overeating, the amount of food that you want to eat, because if you feel satiated, if you're producing enough like serotonin and dopamine on your own, you're not going to need like these external fixations like cigarettes or any of those things as much.
Cool.
Yeah.
And then I guess there's another thing in the routine
yeah,
that we're
so then
missing?
after I'm done my yoga, I will sometimes, like, I'll just like clean up a little bit, and then I'll make my tea. So I really love the chaga tea. Chaga has so many unbelievable medicinal benefits. All mushrooms do, actually, and this is like a whole can of worms that once you go down the hole,
not coming back.
Yeah, you're not coming back. There's so much to learn about them, and we don't even know half of it. But chaga is a really great mushroom. So it's basically really anti-inflammatory. So it's important for any time, and like I've also struggled with joint pains and injuries from exercise. So it's going to help to bring down the inflammation. It also helps to boost immunity, which is important, especially as we're like getting into the fall and viruses are going around. And chaga is also really good for, it's really powerful antioxidant. So it's going to help with the anti-aging process. So aging is just oxidative stress, essentially. So
go back and watch our anti-aging video if you want to find more about that.
You can watch that video. But chaga is going to help to be the antioxidant for all of the oxidative stress. It's going to help to combat that. And chaga actually has a very specific function on preventing tumor growth. So really great for cancer or even just like preventing cancer. But if you already have it, it can help with slowing down the rate of the tumor.
So as someone who's very much team coffee, I don't want to throw coffee under the bus, but I love it. But what would be the difference between having chaga in the morning versus a cup of coffee?
So caffeine also too has a lot of benefits.
Yeah,
like,
definitely.
There's nothing.
So I didn't want to throw
it
it under the bus. I was
just like,
let's
not
be fair.
at all. There's honestly nothing wrong with it. It's just my body doesn't exactly agree with it. So caffeine is a circulatory stimulant, which is going to push blood flow to the brain kind of in the same way where exercise, all of the benefits that you're going to be getting from exercise and from a blood flow perspective, caffeine is going to help to do that same thing. So it's going to be really great for making your thinking quicker, as well as like stabilizing mood. Now, because caffeine tends to have like a spike, it once you kind of come down from coffee, that might affect your mood in more of a negative way. Where the chaga doesn't really have these like ups and downs. It basically is just like a very stable amount of medicinal benefits. So the main medicinal benefit from coffee is that it's a circulatory stimulant. And caffeine, if the beans are organic, it's an antioxidant. But with chaga, like it's just so much more well-rounded. Like it's high in iron, vitamin B, like it's high. There's so many other important factors to chaga.
A little more bang for buck.
Absolutely.
When it comes to drinking that. That sounds like pretty good.
This is like a medicine.
Even?
Sorry?
Could you have a tea and a coffee? And with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Of course.
I might have to start doing that myself then.
Yeah.
I know. I mean, it's definitely something I need to improve on is my morning routine. I've definitely gotten better about the whole, not looking at the phone right away and stuff like that. But these seem like definitely some good ideas. Throw a little yoga in, because I just tend to like roll out of bed, jump in the shower, have coffee, and like get on with my day. But it seems like a little bit better approach.
Yeah, and then because I'm so focused on mental health, the last thing that I do is I just write in my journal. And I think that this is a really great practice that everybody can implement, because you don't have to like sit there and write for hours. One thing that I do for sure on a daily basis is just practice gratitude. So there are many studies that show that gratitude literally like rewires neuron pathways in the brain to help either like get you out of a funk or to help be more optimistic and see like the benefits in life, because like essentially our experience in the world is like it's up to you, like it's how you interpret things, right? So every day in the morning I just write down 3 things that I'm really grateful for, and I find that just kind of like sets me up for the day, just to have like a better day.
Sounds like I should start doing myself. Cool, guys. So obviously if you have any questions about Jiordana's morning routine or just the importance of a morning routine and how you can improve yours, don't hesitate to comment below. We'd love to help you out there. Otherwise, we'll see you guys on another episode, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.